Hey there folks, thanks for checking the video out. In this video today I'll be talking about the Mikuni TM40 pumper carb that I've put on my DR650. Now, before we go any further, if you like the video, well, like the video and please subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button. Okay, now that that's out of the way, the purpose of today's video is, well, I haven't really seen that many videos on YouTube about the TM40 pumper carb on DR650s. There's really not that many out there. And I thought I'd do a video covering, the installation of the TM40 pumper carb, the cost, my thoughts as far as the performance increase, fuel consumption, any negatives. Thought I'd just put that all in one video, and people can then make an informed choice, I guess. All right, so there's the TM40 pumper carb right there, and look, let's get the price and stuff out of the way first. Okay, so I got this from Mikuni Oz. I believe it's a Mikuni dealer up in Queensland. The TM40 pumper carb with all the fittings and correct jetting required for the DR650, it's all set up, so it's pretty much just plug and play, was about 760 plus postage. As far as installation goes, I didn't do it, my mechanic did. It took him, I don't know, an hour. He said it was just pull the old carb out, put the new one in. The jetting was perfect, all the fittings were spot on. Okay, so it all fit perfectly, and I've pretty much grabbed the bike from the mechanic and been riding it ever since. Okay, so I've had it on for about 2 months, done a fair bit of riding, and I've taken the DR highway speeds on dirt, lugged it around a bit on more technical stuff, and I'm pretty happy. Let's put it this way, I'm pretty happy with my purchase. To get the most out of the TM40 pumper carb, you need to open up the airbox, and really the other thing that's needed to get the most out of it is you need, most likely should be putting on an aftermarket exhaust. Okay, so I've got a Leo Vince that came with the bike. It turns out my airbox was already opened up, and the mods done on the original carb that a lot of people do were already done on mine. Okay, and with all of that, I did see a pretty significant increase in power, from my perspective anyway, after the TM40 was installed. So what are my thoughts as far as the carb and performance increase? Well, I'm a big fan. Right, so the Mikuni TM40 pumper carb absolutely woke up the bike, and from my perspective has given it anywhere between a 10 to 15% increase in power. I always felt the bottom end on this, while good, wasn't as strong as it should have been. The top end kind of, with the original carb, it seemed to top out with the current gearing at 100. Now with the TM40 pumper carb, what I found, well, firstly, it all throughout the power band, there's a lot more power. It revs the bike revs a lot faster. It really feels cruisy at 100, and I can easily get to 110 and hold it. 120, 130 is fine as well. So I found a definite increase in power, right, when the carb was put in. Now, the other thing I noticed was I had a lot more leeway between gear changes as well. I didn't really expect that. So what I expected was a bit more, talking first, and hoping for a bit more, luggability in first and so forth. Instead, what I found is the latitude between, or range between gear changing, I can push the top speed on each gear, if that makes sense, a lot further with this carb. So used to be in second on this bike, if I'd be revving it at around 40 k's an hour. Now it goes to 50, no stress on second, right? Same thing with third, fourth, fifth. In fact, the fourth gear, for example, was pretty much around the 75 mark. I was clicking over to fifth. Now I can push it to 90, and then fifth basically turns into anything over 90. It just pushes on from 100 onwards. I didn't expect that, to be frank. I sort of was quite surprised. The other thing that I found was the TM40 pumper carb does help the bike lug a bit better too, especially in second or third. If I bring the revs down in second or third, I don't really need to change down and do that much clutch work. The bike just keeps chugging along with the carb. I couldn't do that with the original carb, I found. So yeah, it's I like it because I'm not changing gears as much, and as far as it being snappier off the bottom, I'm slightly disappointed as far as I was expecting it to be more luggable in first, and it is, but I was sort of hoping it would be like my 525 EXE in that regard, and it's not quite that change. It didn't change it that much in first. Second, yeah, second and third, it's definitely more luggable than it was previously in second and third, which is great. But yeah, slight disappointment there, but it is a lot more snappier. Right, you apply the throttle and it just absolutely cranks. You can power through the gears, go fast really quickly, which is great. As far as my purchase of the TM40 pumper carb goes, I am really happy and satisfied with it. It's pretty much done 95% of what I was expecting, and it's done more. Okay, so I'm really happy with it. What things should you consider before you buy it? Well, this is where I'll talk about some of the negatives. Okay, so it makes the bike a lot louder, right? How much louder? Well, not like insanely loud, but it is louder, right? The bike makes more noise. That can be an issue for some people. I find people in the UK are really concerned about the noise emitted by their bikes. It's not really that big a deal here in Australia from my perspective. I like having a slightly louder bike, not because I want to be an obnoxious douchebag. It's while I'm riding around, it's so that other motorists can hear me when I'm behind them or whatever. They notice me more, and also it helps out in the bush too. So extra noise from my perspective warns animals, wombats, roos. I mean, these things come out of corners all the time when I'm riding. I find a louder bike sort of keeps them on alert and keeps me safe, right? So I don't have an issue with that, the noise, but be aware. The carb definitely, from my perspective, makes the bike a lot noisier. Fuel consumption. I haven't noticed anything that different from the original carb. It may be tuned perfectly. I do have the bigger tank, so I mean it's fine. I think it might be using a little bit more fuel, but not a huge amount. But that's something, if you're a tightwad, and let's face it, if you own a DR650, as I've mentioned before, you probably are a tightwad, right? So then that might be a point of consideration. As far as startup goes, I did notice you've got to hold the choke for a bit longer than the standard carb. How much longer? I mean, in the original carb, I mean, it was 5 seconds on starting. With this one, it's probably 10, maybe 15 seconds, and then chokes off and the bike's absolutely fine. So just be aware with the TM40, the choke needs to be on for a bit longer. Okay, so what else? Well, the elephant in the room is the price, right? I talked about that earlier in the video, and yeah, look, it's 800 bucks Australian, right? And then if you pay someone to put it in, etc., or you do it yourself, whatever, it's still 800 bucks. You can't get DR650s brand new in Australia anymore. I know you can in the US, right? But at the end of the day, this is meant to be a cheap adventure bike, right? That's the entire point. And yeah, in Australia, second hand, generally speaking, they're about between 4,000 to 7,000, depending on you know, how much they're kitted out and so forth, right? So you know, so an $800 investment is a fair bit of money. There's an argument to be made that just putting in a aftermarket exhaust like the Leo Vince, doing your OEM carby mods that are out there and cutting out the airbox will give you a pretty sufficient power boost. Fair call, right? I already had those mods in place, right? And I noticed a significant power increase. As I said, you know, 10% at least, right? I haven't put it, you know, on a dyno or anything like that, but from my perspective, the bike definitely has more torque, more spread as far as you know, range between the gears, and top speed's a lot better, right? Again, I'm really surprised at how much better the bike feels at the top end of the power range. You know, once I'm pushing past 90, 100 and so forth, it just feels a lot better than the original Carb. Okay, so, but still 800 bucks, it's a lot of money. Is your DR650 something that you're going to keep for the long term, right? So I'm not talking about like a couple of years. Are you going to keep it for the next, you know, 5 to 10 plus years? You're going to do a lot of traveling on it, or a lot of Ks or miles or whatever you want to call it on it, right? And if the answer is yes, then the TM40 pumper carb is, in my view, it's a done deal. You should get it. Okay. Now, if you're not going to be using the bike, or you think this is like an intermediate bike and you're going to upgrade, you know, to a bigger, you know, quote unquote better twin cylinder adventure bike, or you're waiting for something new to come out in the market that fills the void that the you know, that the DR650 currently fills, then probably don't do it, right? Because it is a fair bit of money. The last thing I'm going to mention, this isn't a negative, but it's something to be aware of. The original, when you put in the pumper carb, the throttle feels really stiff, and that's because of the I believe it's the throttle spring that comes with the Mikuni TM40 pumper carb. Now, it is really stiff. Okay, so you sort of, if you're used to, yeah, you know, a two-stroke throttle, or most throttles, it's can feel, you know, you're really working your wrist, you know, more than usual, yeah, guys. So it's one of those things where I knew that was the case, and I ordered. There is another spring that you can get it's like 15 bucks, and it makes the throttle easier to pull, so to speak. And I did have the original spring that came with the Mikuni pumper carb, and I did use it for 2 weeks. So look, I got used to it, but you could always feel that it was a lot stiffer. The tension was always there on the wrist. I was always aware of it, and the issue became when I jumped off this bike and jumped on my KTMs. Then I was back to a really, like, you know, easy to pull throttle, and it took a little bit to get used to again, and then jumping back on this thing. So I've put the other throttle spring on, and yeah, it's a big improvement. It's nowhere near as stiff. You know, I can just crank it and the bike just goes, right? So if you are going to get the TM40 pumper carb, that throttle spring is a worthwhile investment. yeah, 100% get it is my 2 cents on that. Why didn't I get the TM42 pumper carb? Well, I didn't get it because everything I read online, as far as the DR650 goes, the TM42 pumper carb is a massive pain in the ass to tune, and very few people seem to really love it. In fact, most people end up selling it, from what I can see. And yeah, I wanted a power increase. I wanted it to be hassle-free, and based on what I'd read online, the TM40 fit that bill. The TM42 did not, and I have no regrets in that regard. The TM42 is more expensive as well. The other thing is, right, the TM40, a lot of people put it in when they're getting the top end redone. You know, they're putting a high compression piston in. They're putting the 790 big bore kit in, or they put a TM42 in, right? So some people say, I don't bother doing it until you do the top end and upgrade the top end on the DR650. Once again, as I've said a few times, I'm just going to say that 10 to 15% increase just on the stock, DR650, as far as the piston, stock piston and all that goes. To me, that's a big increase, and I'm a fan. I'm future-proofing the bike down the track when I do the top end, which will be another, 20,000-30,000 Ks down the track. But I am future-proofing it with the TM40. I haven't decided if I'm going to put a high compression piston in or do the 790 big bore, or just go with the OEM setup. But from that regard, it's still a worthwhile investment because I'm keeping the bike long term, and if I do give it a power increase as far as the top end goes, well, that's the carb that's there for it. And the TM42 again seemed like overkill and seemed like a lot of hassle, so I didn't bother. I saved some money, and yeah, as I said before, installation was hassle free, plug and play on the TM40, and just I've been riding her ever since. So there's that's all I've got to say about that one. Anyway, I will end the video now. Thanks again for watching, folks. I hope this has been useful. Once again, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and have a good one, guys and girls. See ya.